Hey everyone, welcome back to the Swerve Startup Grassroots Show here for Runway. My name's Brandon Burns. I'm your head of community, and today we're doing something exciting. Not only are we in an amazing studio here at the Pulse, which is all part of Diversitat's program and training, but we're also doing a podcast and a vodcast all at once. And we're actually going to hopefully get this program to a stage where we'll be YouTube living to you as well. So we're refining, we're testing, we're trialing things, but we're really excited to be sharing this with you today. And for those of you listening and watching, I want to take the opportunity to introduce the first student of several that I'm actually going to get on today's program and talk to you about their experience currently with Runway and what's happening here at Diversitat and the Pulse, and also their opinions and insights into trends that are happening in digital and social media that are going to be really valuable, especially for those of you watching and listening who are looking to target a younger audience with your product or service. So welcome to the show. I've talked enough already, but I want to take the opportunity to introduce my very first guest. She's a student here. She's what's called an SBAT, and I'll get her to tell you what that is, but it's Milana. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. So tell me, right, you're currently doing a course with Diversitat.
Yeah.
And I think the title that you've got is SBAT, is that correct?
Yes.
But what does it stand for and what do you do?
Okay, so it stands for School-Based Apprenticeship or Traineeship. And basically students come in for part of a day a week and do training, and then they do a full day of placement in like a field of work that they are doing a course for.
Excellent. Okay, so is this your first year doing the course?
Yes, it is.
With Diversitat?
Yeah.
And what drew you to want to do this course in particular?
So I've always wanted to work in media. I do acting training and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I thought, well, if I do something like this, I'm broadening my horizons in where I could work in the media.
Yeah, great. And so when you embarked upon looking for something like this in the Geelong region, how did you find Diversitat?
So they set up almost like a pop-up kind of store kind of thing at an event that I went to advertise the different courses that they do. And so I went and had a talk to some of the trainers, and they suggested that this course would be a good idea.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Now, this is the interesting stuff because I reckon the audience is going to love this. I know in my short time, having been exposed to the students and the course, I've learnt so much about trends, digital, social media that I wouldn't have otherwise known. But more importantly, the things I've learnt from watching you guys do the work with me and how quickly you can do it has been hugely interesting. And I know there's things that our audience is going to want to learn, especially from a younger person's perspective. So tell me, is there one particular social media platform or maybe a tool or something that you've noticed happening in the digital space that has been really amazing recently that you thought, oh wow, that's fantastic, that maybe our audience wouldn't know about?
Well, probably the most popular for maybe businesses would be Instagram, considering a lot of young people, teenagers, use the platform. It has several resources that you can use, like you can post, you can make stories, all that kind of thing. But yeah.
So as a young person using Instagram, what is the key features or the things about it that you love the most and you use the most?
Well, on a personal level, we can share what's going on in our lives to our friends. We can look at what's going on in other people's lives. We can see new products, watch like our idols or whatever. But yeah, it's just good to be able to see what's going on around you, really.
Yeah. And what's the best new feature that you've seen or liked with Instagram or social media recently?
The stories probably, because you can create a story that stays up for 24 hours, or you can save it so when someone views your account, they can go into that and they can see whatever you've put up.
Great.
It could be a video or saying that you're going to go do something, or really anything you want to put up.
That's fantastic. All right, so one last question for Milana before I get our next student in the hot seat. What would you like to do? Not when you grow up, but maybe in the next 5-10 years. Where would you see yourself? What would you like to do?
Well, I'm enjoying the filming and stuff we're doing at the moment. It would be really good. It might be hard, but it would be really good to be able to continue just filming or even going to some more of the editing stuff. But
Great.
Yeah.
All right, well, because we're rolling here off the cuff and we're going to get another student in, why don't we all give Milana a round of applause? Yeah. That was great, well done. Okay, cool. So I've actually got my second guest in the chair. His name's Caden. How are you?
Good, thanks, yourself.
I'm good, mate. We just heard obviously from Milana, our fellow SBAT student. But I'm really keen to understand from you. Tell me a bit about your story. What drew you to Diversitat, SBAT, and what you've been getting out of the course so far?
Kind of like the exact same thing. They had all these stalls that came to our school.
Yeah.
And there was like fitness ones. There was like horticulture.
Uh-huh.
All different SBATs. And I signed up for a Lightmare Studio one, but
Hang on, what's Lightmare Studio? That sounds interesting.
so it was like kind of like this, but instead of like editing videos, it was like editing games.
Oh, okay, so you're a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And then I got drawn to this.
Yeah. Okay, so how long have you been doing it for now? Is it half a year, 6 months?
Yeah, half a year now, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's been the biggest learning you've taken out of the media course?
Filming, actually. I already knew kind of how to edit before this course, but like filming, I had no idea how to work a camera.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. We've actually got, 2 cameras running today. We've got a third phone capturing footage as well. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a little bit of post-production and editing involved after today, correct?
Yeah.
So have you done a bit of that already, a bit of post-production and editing of other videos?
Yeah, we've done some. There was a circle thing at
Yeah.
The other Diversitat campus that we edited. We've done weddings.
Oh, you've done weddings?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Unreal. All right, so what I'd love to hear from you is, and I'm going to ask you a question about gaming because I know in our previous session you actually showed me some really cool things about the gaming space, and then also I think a software called Twitch.
Yeah.
So for those listening and watching who probably haven't heard of Twitch, tell me how that works and how it relates to the gaming industry and as a platform, and how it improves the experience of gaming.
So basically, so say you want to stream, you'd open up Twitch, start a stream, and like, it's really easy to like.
So you're starting a stream of you playing a game?
You playing a game, or you can do podcasts or IRL streams. Like people go to events and they also stream it on Twitch.
Yeah.
You can stream from your phone, computer, any like
Yes.
gaming like console.
Yeah, cool. So how would you say Twitch is different to like a Facebook Live?
We can't really post anything on Twitch.
Right.
And for example, it's a lot easier to like talk to like your audience on Twitch since there's just a chat bar that comes up on the side, and you can
Okay.
add things like bots and stuff that just add like commands that make do stuff so you don't actually have to do anything.
Very interesting. Okay, so Twitch is also a platform, if I'm correct here, where there can be multiple people streaming at once. Is that right?
Yes.
So let's say you're playing a game. I think you were showing me, is there like 4 tiles or windows of other people watching you or playing with you at the same time? How does that work?
So that's not exactly about Twitch. That's about like your computer setup, or if you
Okay.
want to add people into your stream.
Okay, nice. Excellent. Do you use it personally?
I use Twitch, but I don't use split windows.
Okay, cool. Now for our business and entrepreneurial audience, the first question they're going to ask me after this is, can you monetize Twitch? So for example, can you make money off starting a Twitch account or incorporating into your...
Yes. So at any time before, so any time you can put your PayPal in your bio, and like you can set up a bot that will just remind people like, hey, if you like what I'm doing, you can donate money.
Yeah?
And then once.
So if you're entertaining an audience,
Yeah.
similar to YouTube, you can monetize...
Yeah. And then once you get affiliated, which you need to average 3 views for 7 streams and have over 50 followers,
Yes?
you can get something called affiliated, which is basically allows people to subscribe to you they pay $5 a month,
Yes?
and you'd get $250 of that. So say if you have
Uh-huh.
like 10 followers, you're gonna get like, I don't even know how much money that is, but
Yeah.
yeah, 10 subscribers, and then like you're allowed to donate like bits as well, which is like their own like,
Okay, this
currency.
is incredibly interesting, and our audience is going to want to know more. So if anyone wants to get in touch with Caden, let me know, and I can get you in touch with him to have a conversation about how this all works, because it sounds so interesting. There's something I knew absolutely nothing about, but it sounds like you've got a really good handle on it.
Yeah.
Good on you, man. All right, well, I'm going to get our next student in, but how about a round of applause for Caden? Yeah, awesome. Thanks, mate. Okay, so I've now got our third amazing SBAT student in the hot seat. Her name's Alice. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. That was a great response.
Oh, thank you.
Very positive and happy. That's awesome. We love to hear that. So we're here in the studio. We're down to our third student, and we've been talking obviously about their experience with the program here, being an SBAT with Diversitat, the collaboration with Runway HQ, our amazing startup accelerator here in Geelong, and also the students' opinions and insights into digital trends and social media and things that are really taking off in that space. So I thought I'd give Alice the same opportunity as everyone else to sort of introduce herself, tell us how she found Diversitat in the course and how it's all going.
Well, I almost found Diversitat by accident.
Wow, tell me more.
We had a few people that did SBATs of like G-Force or the Gordon come in, talk about their more traditional trades for females because I go to an all-girls school.
Yes.
And because being in the creative industry is a little less common when it comes to being a trade, so I just asked my vet teacher and this was the only one that they had.
Yes.
And so I went to an information session and it just seemed like it was going to fit.
Yeah, that's unreal. Okay, so tell me, what is it that you want to do with your career if you could define it right now? I know it's a tough question, but and how does that relate back to what you're learning here?
Well, I think I'm one of the only people that actually has somewhat of an idea if you ask me that question. I want to do social media advertising when I get outside of school in like the graphics area. So
Great.
I'm very excited to be able to be working with you and doing what we're doing.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I've learnt so much already. And I don't think it's just because you guys have got your fingers on the pulse being younger, but also you seem to have a really good application when it comes to social media and hacking and testing and trying new things. I think my generation anyway, I feel a little bit more like, I want to get it right and be perfect. But what I've noticed with you guys is you're willing just to try it and hack it and you know, and it gets there in the end. Yeah. So tell me, right, what did we do before we went to recording this? What were we doing on Instagram and how does that work?
So we created an Instagram story where we just took a little snippet of what you were going to start talking about with your first guest, Milana.
Yes.
And then we posted that and gave a little sneak peek of what the episode is going to look like.
Uh-huh.
And so people can get a little teaser and get excited for the episode, but then also encourage them to go watch the full episode.
Yeah, unreal. All right, that's great. So I'm actually learning from Alice on how we can deliver and get best cut through with the content we're capturing today, so that's unreal. So tell me, right, we talked a little bit about Instagram, and I know that's a big growing platform in your space. Maybe share with me one that people may not know about that's actually quite popular and useful for marketing to younger people.
It is, not necessarily. It's definitely growing in the marketing. A lot of people and companies are now using Snapchat ads. So there are stories like there are in Instagram.
Yeah.
But Snapchat did it first, so you could share what you wanted for that 24-hour time period. Uh-huh. But then if you go through those stories, in between them there'll be different ads for different companies to interest people and like do like little teasers on what they want to show and see if their clientele are younger, so that sort of thing.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so how effective would you say Snapchat advertising is compared to Instagram and Facebook advertising?
Facebook, I don't really use anymore. I more use it to know people's birthdays now. That's
really
the only reason
how
I
interesting.
Use it.
Wow.
Snapchat is definitely more. It only goes for 10 seconds, and it sort of like stays in my head. And if I happen to see it while I'm like in a supermarket or something like that, I'll remember it because I've seen it, and it's just a small glimpse of like in between things.
Wow.
Where the Snapchat ads, you can usually just scroll past them, and you just sort of don't really look at them.
Yeah, wow, excellent. So Snapchat advertising, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, is there anything else you'd love to share with our audience? I mean, our audience is startups, entrepreneurs, business people. I know they're going to be really looking to people like yourself on how they can get a better understanding of what's up and coming and is an opportunity they may not have heard about that they could use for their business. And that's really been really beneficial, what you said about Snapchat. Anything else? Is there any other new features that you've seen, like an Instagram or a YouTube trying recently that you're like, oh, maybe that's worth looking at? Or
it's not really anything specific, it's just more that like social media isn't going to die down anytime soon. So the sooner you jump on the bandwagon, the sooner you'll broaden your horizons to the different generations that you want to like show.
That's great. All right, Alice, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Give her a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you. So with me is Benjamin. He's a student here. He's an SBAT. And so tell me how you found the course and what sort of interested you in it and what you're hoping you'll get out of it to take into your career.
Okay.
It's a big loaded question. Sorry, mate. Maybe start with how did you hear about it?
Maybe cut it down.
Yeah, sorry, mate. So how did you hear about Diversität?
How I heard about it. So my school, they had a sort of a careers day where basically they gave you a whole bunch of courses. Everyone, all these different organisations and businesses step up and say, here's some of our courses. And though some of them caught my interest and a lot of them just passed by me, didn't really care.
Yeah.
This one definitely caught my interest as it, appealed to my interests.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to work in filmmaking and especially like making movies or TV shows. Those are definitely, so that it's because of those that this course runs right up my alley.
Yeah, okay, that's a really good point. So let me segue to what part of the filmmaking industry would you like to be in as such? Would you like to be behind the camera, in front of the camera?
Well, either way is fine to me.
Yeah.
The one area in filmmaking that interests me the most is animation.
Wow.
So 3D animation, 2D animation, or visual effects, those are especially just really interesting to me. And this course helps me get a pathway towards that area.
Unreal. So tell me, right, what's the best example of 3D animation you've seen recently in a show or movie that you've watched?
So there is a movie that came out around about last year called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah?
And it is unreal, really.
Yeah.
It's 3D animation, and it's like a mix of 3D and 2D.
Yes.
And it gives this much more organic feeling than just a standard 3D animation like Pixar.
Yeah.
And it really pops off the screen like you're actually watching a comic book.
Yeah, wow. Awesome. Unreal. Okay, so if I had to ask you, what's the one piece of advice you'd give to our businesses watching this around a new platform or feature that you've seen or that you like that's working really well? What would that be?
Well, really, just give it a try, and you don't know what will happen unless you actually do it. So you find something that you think could be interesting, just go for it.
Yeah.
Really, do what you think works best, and eventually you will learn along the way just how it works and how to adapt your business for that platform.
Yeah, great. So as a student, what is the social media platform that you use the most or you find is the most effective?
There's quite a few. One that two that I've really been drawn to is one called Twitter and another called Reddit.
Okay, cool. So tell me quickly about Twitter and how you've found that to be as a user experience.
So Twitter is basically you can post your thoughts to the world, whether it's your take on a popular media or opinion.
Yeah.
Or posting about what you've done on that day, or maybe there's a general topic that the world is talking about and you can join in on that conversation. And it's a very open space for you to just talk about anything or do anything.
What about Reddit?
Reddit is kind of the same, except instead of all being open to everyone, you're all split into these small communities where you can find people of similar interests or people with similar hobbies or such. Like I follow a community that focuses on a TV show that I like, or another that just focuses on a general industry that I like to follow the news of.
Excellent. That's brilliant. Well, Benjamin, thank you very much. That was awesome. Give him a round of applause. Well done, man. So next to me is Xavier. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I don't think I've actually met you yet.
Really?
Yeah, because I've been here on a couple of Fridays in the studio, but I'm not sure if you were here. But yeah, Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's good to have you here, man.
Yeah, good to be
So,
here.
so as our last guest on the show, maybe you've heard the format already, but just give our audience a rundown on how you found the course.
Mm-hmm.
What you're getting out of it the most, and what you're hoping that'll lead to in your career.
Well, I found the course because I do VCAL at GTEC.
Yes.
So I do my Year 12 equivalent. I have to Sorry, I've just had some technical issues there. We had to pick an SBAT to pick,
Yeah.
pretty much. So last year I was doing a Certificate 3 of Marine Craft.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
was doing a boat building apprenticeship. This year I've swapped to screen and media because I want to do some filmmaking.
Unreal.
Yeah.
That's great, man. So you've actually tried quite a few different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And so tell me, do you have any clearer picture of what you'd like to do once you graduate, and has it got anything to do with this course and what you've learned here?
Well, yeah, I do really, really enjoy the practical aspect of this. I really
Yes.
enjoy being out on scene, filming, talking to people, like managing people a little bit,
Yeah.
just all that stuff.
So you like bossing people around?
Yeah, I do.
You're not
Yeah.
afraid to say that yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool. So you can see yourself maybe in a management role, leading teams,
Yeah.
inspiring people, bringing them together, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, unreal. So what platform or digital tech or innovation have you been using or have seen recently that you really, really like?
What platform?
Well, before you answer that,
Yes.
I have heard about one in particular. I'm not sure if you use it or you know much about it, but I know our audience would love to know. TikTok. What is
So-
TikTok?
Okay, so I don't own TikTok. I don't own the app of TikTok, but it's pretty much like music videos if
Yes.
they were like 10 seconds long. And
Yes.
people try and make them funny. Like it's
So
I have no
you're
idea,
making a
honestly.
parody to someone else's song, are you?
not necessarily, but you can do that.
Yeah.
It's
Why is TikTok? Maybe a better question is, why is TikTok so popular? Do you think? Why is it becoming
because it's so accessible to post your own content.
so different to Snapchat in what way?
Snapchat's a communication tool. This is an entertainment tool. This Snapchat,
Wow.
you go to talk to someone.
Yes.
This one, you go to watch people.
Okay, very cool,
Yeah.
unreal. Now let's get back to the original question. What is a platform or piece of digital tech that you love or you use a lot?
Oh,
Are you a gamer? Are you a YouTuber?
well, I mean, yeah, I guess I don't post anything to YouTube, but that's my number one, like, go-to
Yeah,
constantly on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
For watching, or do you post a lot of content?
No, I watch.
You watch, yeah?
Exclusively.
Do you comment much?
No.
Okay, cool.
No,
Yeah.
just like favorite and like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unreal. All right, cool. Have you used YouTube Live or seen someone else use it effectively?
Yeah. That guy right there.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
one of your fellow students. Would you
Yes.
recommend YouTube Live for businesses compared to, let's say, a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live?
Honestly, I would say a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live would be better
Okay,
because YouTube Lives just tend to not pull in the amount of views that
okay.
the other apps pull.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. All right, well, Xavier, thank you. Give him a round of applause. That was Xavier. So we're still rolling. Thank you for listening to the podcast show. Of those of you watching, thanks for tuning in. I really, really think you are going to get extreme value out of hearing just a small amount of insights from students and people who sit in that younger demographic and are using tools and platforms that quite possibly will become so much more mainstream in the next 12, 24 months. So I really hope you guys benefit from the insight you've been able to get today. I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to share this with the audience ongoing. I reckon there's so much more value that we can provide to our audience by accessing the students more regularly and ongoing. So maybe what we'll do is we'll set up a poll for fun and we'll ask you maybe a topic or a platform or something that you'd like to hear more about from the students, and then we can make that the basis of our next episode. So thanks everyone for listening and watching to the Swerve Startup Grassroots Show. On behalf of Runway HQ, Upstart HQ, which is a great accelerator that we partner with for students and young people. You can find out so much more about Upstart. Just contact us, reach out to us here on the show. We'll put you in touch, and head to runwayhq.co for more info. Hope you enjoyed the show, guys, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.